Welcome back to Mott Underwater. My name is James Mott, and this is Pillar 3 of the Instructor Evolution Framework. Personal identity. If you're an instructor or you're thinking about becoming an instructor, you gotta realize that you're in a crowded space. There's thousands of scuba instructors out there all over the place who all have the same certification as you're going to have, the same training. They went down the exact same path as you. And most of them, they disappear after a couple years. They go through all that. And it's not because they're bad instructors. It's not because they're not good at what they do. It's just they're indistinguishable from anybody else. They're a scalable copy of every single instructor that the industry puts out. And students don't know the difference. You sign up for a scuba class, you just get whoever the shop gives you. You just get whoever's available. You just get who's not already busy teaching that day. And the dive shops know it. They know exactly how replaceable you are. And they know that if you can't teach, there's somebody else right behind you who can and will. And they'll take that spot tomorrow because you're all trained to be exactly the same. So the question isn't, can you or should you become an instructor? Can you do what it takes to become an instructor? The question that you're looking to answer is anybody going to want you as an instructor instead of anybody else? The big agencies out there that everybody wants to teach for because they have big marketing, they've got big dollars, and everybody knows the agency letters by name, they're not out there trying to make you great. They're not out there trying to make you stand out as an instructor. They don't want that. They want you scalable. They want you doing the exact same thing as everybody else. They're built to make you consistent. The same standards, the same system, the same exact structure as everybody else. And over time, they know that it's going to give them the vision of the same instructor anywhere you go. They use that as a pillar and a point of how they build their program. And this is not about you choosing it. You don't do it because that's a great idea. You only do it because you're told that that's the system, is anybody can pick up and go at any point and move on. That's not a value to you. It's a value to them. And you follow along because it's all that you've ever been shown. It's like anything else. Actors, there's thousands of actors in the world today. But there's one Brad Pitt. There's one Robert De Niro. And it's got nothing to do with really their innate talent. It doesn't have to do anything with their, lineage of training, really. I mean, because there's thousands of actors and they've all got really good talent and they've all got really good training behind them to get them to where they are. But there's something special that makes a Robert De Niro separate from the pack. It's their experience. It's how they've structured their life. It's what they've brought into their acting from just outside of studying acting that's made them who they are. And diving's not much different. There's thousands of instructors out there. Most of them have gone down the exact same path. They know the exact same system. They have the exact same pattern of thinking and applying this. And most of them, in regards to the big picture, they're kind of invisible. You don't look for a specific instructor. You've been taught to find an agency that's renowned, and you get whoever they give you. But every once in a while, there's somebody that people remember, that they know by name, that they ask for. Somebody that people really trust. One instructor that you have heard about, that you're willing to wait for until they have an opening. That's a big difference. But you see, that difference comes from outside of the system. If you've only grown up with one agency, one model, one shop, one instructor, you're feeding into their system. You've only learned one way to dive. You don't have the big picture perspective. You've got a limitation, and it's obvious. The instructors who stand out, who have something that's unique, that people want to wait for and are willing to wait for, they've cross-trained to get there. They've trained from different instructors in different locations, different environments, and different philosophies. They've trained beyond just scuba diving to get to where they are. They've learned from outside of the diving world and brought it into the diving world, because diving isn't just a physical activity of putting on scuba gear, putting a regulator on a tank so you can breathe. It's something deeper. It's something human that's inside of you, that's inside of all of us. That is what you want to tap into. You know, after a while of doing this and looking around and seeing these different instructors, there is something special that you're looking for. Something that instructors who people remember actually have in them. The instructors who are highly respected, they've got 3 marks, not certifications, but 3 distinct marks that separate them. Mark 1 is experience. It's not logged dives. It's moments in the water that have changed you, that have changed your behavior, so that you'll never go back to the other way. Building that experience is not just doing the same routine dive over and over and over again, 100 times, 500 dives. It's doing real diving that has an impact on you, that changes your humanity. Mark 2 is standards. You've got real standards, something that you refuse to compromise. Even if nobody's watching, you have a way of doing things that you hold true to you, to yourself, building not just another diver out there, but a diver that you want to be in the water with, that you would be happy to have as a teammate, that you would look forward to having as a teammate, because you're building somebody for the long term. And that's a standard that you refuse to compromise on. Mark 3 is presence. You've got something special, something that people can feel when they're around you. They can see it when they're around you. Before you even say a word to them, they already know who you are, and they want it. 3 marks. If one of them is missing, you blend in. You become invisible. You're just another instructor. But if you have all 3, you become unique, undeniable, special, sought out. And this is where the game changes for you, because you're no longer just an instructor. You're an educator, someone who's presenting something more than just scuba diving lessons. An educator develops human beings into divers. An instructor just teaches a scuba class. An educator creates divers who think, divers that you want to be in the water with. An instructor just finishes the course. That's what I'm doing with Mott Underwater, because the industry isn't going to do it. They don't care about building you as an instructor. It's not the way the program works. It's not the way the system was built. The system is built around them, not you. It's not going to build this for you. It's not going to give you this perspective. It's not going to give you this depth. It's not going to give you this presence of those things, of those marks, because those marks are not scalable. That's why most instructors just stay where they are in the system. And eventually they move on to something else because they're replaceable, because they're forgettable, and because they've been trained to be scalable and interchangeable. So you've got a choice. You can follow along with the thousands of other instructors out there on that same path and become just another scuba instructor and hope that everything works out for you. And you'll probably teach many classes, many students. Or you can develop yourself into somebody that people seek out, somebody that people trust, somebody that people remember for years after their training. And if you don't, well, you already know where that's going to end. If you haven't already, shoot me an email, jm@Mott Underwater. Download the Instructor Evolution Assessment. It's free. Use it. Contact me if you want to dive deeper into it. But it's there. Do something special for yourself.